Nice to see you on your feet.
Yeah, we still work, which is good.
You feeling okay?
A little slow, but nothing I can't handle.
So I have a question for you.
Shoot.
When you saved my life, did you know who I was? When you showed up at the warehouse, did you know you were saving Sonny's wife? Or just some woman who was pinned down by a hail of bullets?
Honestly, it was basically a PTSD episode for me. All I knew was that the building was under attack, and I had to act. It wasn't the police that were shooting, that much was clear. So I ran in to look for civilians, because in the service, that's what you do. I saw you pinned down under gunfire. I went in to cover you, and I caught a bullet.
So I could have been anyone.
I'd love to say that I did it because you're a beautiful blonde, but in the moment, that's not what I was thinking at all. Not that you aren't.
I get it.
Okay.
So, you were released from prison, moved to Chicago, and you started working for a motorcycle repair shop. What was it called?
Bobby's Bikes.
Right. And Bobby was a guy you met in the Marines?
You did your research.
Sonny did. More specifically, Sonny's people. Let's say I know everything there is to know about you. I know what you've been doing, where you've been doing it, and who you've been socializing with.
Sonny's people have access to all that?
Sonny has access to anything he needs.
So if that's the case, why didn't he know my mom was lying when she told him I was dead?
We'll get to that, but first, why don't you tell me how you got from being in the Marines to having a PTSD episode that saved my life?
I saw some really ugly action in the military.
I bet.
When I got home, I thought I was handling it.
But you weren't.
Started using. And I hate that, even now. But I was that weak. But I got lucky. I got busted before I ended up on the streets or OD'd. Not that there weren't drugs in prison, but I had enough sense not to use them. Guess that was my rock bottom.
And your relationship with your mom?
Oh, I crashed and burned when I stole her last paycheck.
You took it and went straight to a dealer.
She kicked me out. Shortly thereafter, I went to prison. Could have been 20, but I only got 5. Took a deal.
Smart man.
Dumb man, trying to get smart.
Well, you've succeeded.
Got my head down. Did my time.
So you didn't want to go home when you got out?
I knew my mother wanted nothing to do with me, so I met up with some buddies in Chicago.
To work on motorcycles?
You right?
No. I have a really good friend who does.
Bike shop was a good gig for me. Steady, predictable.
Still no contact with your mother?
I knew better than to reach out to her. But I could still follow her on my face. That's when I saw her post go up with her and Dev, who was supposedly her grandson, my son. I had to find out what was going on.
And you knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he wasn't yours, that there was no way.
No way. I could go into details, but...
No, that's okay.
So when I came to Port Charles, I went to the warehouse because I knew that was Sonny's place of business. I wanted to tell him that Dev wasn't my son. And that's when I walked into the firefight. Okay. Told you everything I've got. Now your turn. Who's Dev?